Hello and welcome back to our weekly eShop Switch Game Sale Roundup, where we help you cut through the noise and find the best bargains across the UK, EU and US eShops. I hope everyone is staying safe with the coronavirus outbreak. I, for one, will be staying indoors and booting up my Switch. Let us know your pick of the week in the comments, as each week we give away a $10 eShop voucher to one person who shared their pick. Later on, we will announce last week's winner, but for now, let's jump in and take a look at these deals. Kicking things off with my pick of the week, it's Enter the Gungeon, which is one of the best roguelike twin-stick shooters on the Switch, and quite simply, one of my favourite games as well. It is full of challenging areas and clever weapons. The bit graphics and arcade tunes work perfectly, supporting the excellent gameplay. Everyone can enjoy this one. It is worth the full price. At 50% off, it is a fantastic bargain. The devs have added new content, including co-op play, so you could tackle this with a buddy, and it's most certainly worthy of its high place in our top 15 Switch co-op games. Check that video out at the top right hand side if you want to hear more. That's my pick of the week. Juan, Jordan, what are your picks?
Hello everyone, Jordan here with my pick of the week. This week I'm going to go for some arse-kicking action in the form of Bulletstorm. Now, back in the day, this was a well underrated title, and I'm so glad that it's getting a second chance on the Switch. It's a game about shooting and being a total badass, getting as many cool kills as possible. It's always thrilling to find a new way to kill an enemy using the environment, and now it's 50% off in Europe, which makes it an absolute bargain. Now just £12.39 in the UK and $14.99 in euros. It's the perfect price for an all-action title that will keep you thrilled until the very end.
Thank you very much, James. My pick of the week is definitely Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. This one includes 12 arcade classics all in one, from Street Fighter 1, 2, 3 and the Alpha series. This also includes an online mode to take your fighting skills to the world. There's also plenty of fan service included, from the timeline of how the series evolved to behind the scenes look at design documents. With 60% off in the UK and in Europe, now's the perfect time to pick this one up. And if you live in the USA, we have a handy guide how you can purchase the game from these eShops. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the video with your host James, and stay safe. Take care, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks, chaps. Great picks there. Cities Skylines is a modern take on a classic city builder with original gameplay to realise the thrill and hardships of creating and maintaining a real city. Boasting fully realised transport and economy systems, Cities Skylines is designed to suit any playstyle, and it's a perfect fit on the move. This is the type of game you can sink hours into and then dip back in for 20-minute bursts. It's a solid title, but at its original asking price with some performance issues on the Switch port, it's a tall ask, but with 75% off, it's much more appealing. A nice sim alternative. This one caught me by surprise. I picked it up when it went on sale last time, and I found myself playing it with my girlfriend non-stop. It's not a bad game when played solo, but it's clearly intended to be played together in local co-op. The goal is to serve up dishes by collaborating. One of you chops whilst the other prepares food and serves. It's simple at first, but it gets complex very quickly, leading to some genuinely tense and hilarious moments. You can play locally with up to 4 players as well as online, and with 40% off, I strongly recommend it. Overcooked, of course, came before its sequel, and I've put it after because, simply put, if you can only pick up one, then definitely get part 2. The first title is solid enough, and if you want to dip your toe in without spending over £10, then you can get this one for less than £7, and what a bargain it is. To be honest, OKAMI doesn't really ever need a sale to be recommended by us because, let's face it, it's a masterpiece. Hence why I decided to get a tasty import physical, even though I've owned it 3 times already. Down to under £10, I mean, you kind of have to feel a little embarrassed about paying so little for such an unbelievable game. It's the best version to boot, with fantastic visuals in both docked and handheld, plus amazing use of HD rumble. If you don't own this Zelda-like game that many consider to be on par, perhaps even better than some Zelda games, then now is truly the time to pick it up. What a wonderful game, and hopefully the rumours are true that we might be getting a sequel being developed by Platinum Games. Fingers crossed. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate continues the popular series from Capcom and is a perfect fit on the Nintendo Switch, both because of its portable form factor and because of the local co-op capabilities. If you're someone who missed the series, the premise is really very simple. This is an action RPG with real-time battles where you take on huge monsters, slay them, and use the loot to improve and create new weapons and armor. The focus is on getting better gear, which replaces the leveling system in most other RPGs, and it makes for a thrilling and addictive game loop, one not to be missed. Ultimate Chicken Horse is a party platformer where you and your friends build the level as you play, placing deadly traps before trying to reach the end of the level. If you can make it, but your friends can't, you score points. You get to play online or locally with your animal buddies and experiment with a wide variety of platforms to find new ways to mess with your friends. The fact that you have crossplay with PC helps get a matchup. It sounds odd, and it is. It's very frustrating and yet a good laugh if you get the right bunch. This one is definitely best enjoyed locally with a few buddies in my opinion. Cave Story was originally released back in 2004 to well-deserved rave reviews. Fast forward and it's been highly polished and well ported onto the Switch. It's a highly addictive action-adventure Metroidvania experience with a fabulous retro feel to it. It's a must-buy at under £15. This is the first time we've seen it on sale in the US eShop in a while, so our friends across the pond, now's your chance to pick this true gem up. Up next, it's Blasphemous. If you want a challenging, non-linear world to explore, then Blasphemous is the game for you. The combat is absolutely brutal. You can customize your build by discovering and equipping relics, rosary beads, prayers, and sword hearts. There are loads of combinations for you to find the best playstyle for you. Best of all are the boss battles, which are epic in scope and absolutely huge, dwarfing your character. This is a great game, especially for those that like worlds dark and twisted. 40% off makes this a very solid pickup. THEA, The Awakening, is a turn-based strategic survival game steeped in Slavic myth and monstrosity, set after an apocalyptic force known only as the Darkness has engulfed the world. There are Strigas and Baba Yagas aplenty, but there are no heroes, no monster slayers, and no great armies capable of banishing them. You have only a few hopeless and starving survivors who are desperately trying to stay alive. You are their last and only true hope. The game combines turn-based strategic gameplay with the tension and grit of a roguelike. A captivating story you can uncover through a series of in-game events and a unique combat system based on a complex card battle game. It's a grand game that doesn't quite get everything right. It aims to be a 4X game with lots of elements, and it's overly difficult, but at the same time quite different and worth a go if you fancy a tough strategy game. If you love shooters and tower defense, and you always wanted to be the bad guy, or at least an alien race bent on the destruction of Earth, then why not sign up? X-MORPH Defense does a great job of merging these genres together and is a fun-filled strategy game. And the added extra of recreating a scene from the Independence Day movie is the cherry on this already content-filled cake. 70% off is a real bargain here. FLASHBACK is one of the most iconic games in history. I remember it from the Amiga all those years ago. It is a wonderful adventure that sets the scene for future generations. A sci-fi puzzle platformer that is ruthless. On the Switch you can get by with some help making things easier, but you can still experience the original intended gameplay as well. This updated version lists the experience, but make no mistake, this is still a very old game with the original mechanics. It's one that every gamer should probably experience, but without rose-tinted glasses it definitely won't have the same impact. With 70% off, this is a wonderful trip down memory lane. At 90% off, under £1 for a game that I reviewed and gave a 7.5 to, this is certainly worth a look. Harking back to 16-bit adventures, ANODYNE pits you as young against a weird world inside their own subconscious in a 2D RPG. Inspired by old-school 16-bit adventure classics, take part in a deep and wonderful journey exploring a large overworld and many quirky, challenging and fun dungeons. It doesn't take itself too seriously with its references to the game that inspired it. Schoolboy is a retro-inspired style action platformer that combines the action RPG genre with hack-and-slash gameplay. It features 2D action, heroic characters, gloomy environments, demonic bosses, and sadly, poor translation. This one has a lot of potential, but it is rough around the edges, and I doubt the developer will go back at this point and fix some of the small bugs. That said, even in this state, it's enjoyable for a short amount of time, and whilst I couldn't recommend it at full price, for less than the cost of a coffee, it's definitely worth a shot. Recently on sale in the UK and EU, it's back on, and I'm delighted it's on in the US as well. Crystal Crisis is a lovely little action puzzle game featuring a crossover of many niche characters, especially those that publisher Nicalis have worked with over the years. It includes The Binding of Isaac, Astro Boy, Cave Story, as well as a few others. It's a colour matching game that gives the illusion of a 1v1 fighter, harking back to a once popular genre. It's chaotic but very fun, a real steal for puzzle fans with 50% off. Both Resident Evil Revelations and Resident Evil Revelations 2 are both at their lowest ever price on the Switch eShop with a chunky 60% off. While both games won't be considered downright classics looking back, you have to remember the period in which they were released. Capcom were pretty much at an all-time low as they led the series into full-on blockbuster action territory. The Revelations games were the beacon of hope during the time as we were earing more towards the original style with some Resident Evil 4 style gameplay too. It mixed well, very well, and so these are two great games for a very affordable price and probably not one to miss out on. I've gone with Revelations 2 if you have to pick up one of them only. Mega Man 11 is platforming at its best. It has fantastic controls and a classic layout where you tackle 8 tough levels, each guarded by a robot master at the end. They ditched the attempts of Mega Man 10 to make the story centre stage and instead return to what we love about Mega Man: frantic, fast-paced action and risk around every corner. 50% off makes this one a really great classic title worth picking up. STARLINK is a game Juan covered and thoroughly enjoyed. It's a large-scale action RPG where you get to pilot awesome fighters, and in the deluxe edition you unlock all of them without the figurines. Some of course will want to add this bad boy to their physical collection, but the cost can be prohibitive. At under $25 for the full game with all vessels, it's a blast and thoroughly enjoyable. Plus, there is Star Fox, a win on its own. If you don't own this already, then it comes highly recommended by us. The Switch port sacrifices a bit on the graphics side, but it makes up for it by being a blast to play on the move. There you have it, a bunch of bargains worth picking up. Let us know your picks this week down below, and next Sunday we will give away a $10 eShop voucher. Speaking of which, last week's winner is Stephen Meek. Congratulations, Stephen. Please email us and we will get you that voucher. You can read a lovely write-up of this list over at switchwatch.co.uk, as well as finding some awesome articles, including a brilliant guide on how to set up an eShop account in different regions in order to take advantage of deals outside your local store. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and that's it from me. But if you enjoyed this, please tune back in next Sunday for more bargains. Check out our deep import guide where we covered all Asian imports that you can pick up which feature English language. And if you are after new games, check out our roundup of 15 games coming out this month. If you enjoy our content, well, thank you for watching, and please do consider subscribing. We are fast approaching 50k subscribers, and we will be giving away a Switch Lite to one lucky sub when we get there, so don't miss out. Oh, by the way, there's one more thing. We have a winner to announce for a copy of Brotherhood United, which we just reviewed. Hadin Lemri is the winner. Congratulations. Please email us and we will get you that copy. See you soon, everyone. Take care.